Dear students, welcome to SPK English Academy. In today's video, I discuss the question answers of a letter to God, a lesson from the first placed NCERT English textbook, 10th class 15E English, which is applicable for the 10th class students who are studying in Adarsh schools of Karnataka state. First, we discuss the 1 marks questions from this lesson. Answer the following questions in a word or a sentence. So this type of question is asked for 1 marks in your examination. First question, what did Lencho hope for? The answer, Lencho hoped for a good rain as it was much needed for a good harvest. Question number 2, who read the letter? Answer, the postmaster read the letter. Question number 3, where was Lencho's house located? Answer, Lencho's house was located on the crest of a low hill. 4. What could one see from the height of Lencho's house? One could see the river and the field of ripe corn dotted with the flowers that always promised a good harvest for the height of Lencho's house. Question number 5. What were the older and smaller boys doing? Answer, the older boys were working in the fields while the smaller ones were playing near the house until the woman called to them all. Question number 6. What did Lencho compare the raindrops to? Lencho compared the raindrops to the new kinds. What was a single hope of Lencho? A single hope of Lencho was help from God. What did the author compare the work of Lencho to? The author compared the work of Lencho to an ox. How many pesos did Lencho ask for God? How many pesos did he get? Lencho asked for 100 pesos from the God, but he got only 70 pesos. Who did Lencho write a letter to? Lencho wrote a letter to God. Next question. Was Lencho surprised to find a letter for him with money in it? Lencho was not surprised to find a letter with money from God as he believed that God will help him. Next question. What made Lencho angry? Answer. There were only 70 pesos in the envelope, whereas Lencho had demanded 100 pesos. The difference in the amount made him angry. Next question. Who does Lencho have complete faith in? Lencho has complete faith in God as he is instructed that God knows everything and helps us in our problems. 14. Who does Lencho think has taken the rest of money? The employees of the post office taken the rest of the money according to Lencho. Now discuss 2 marks questions. Answer the following questions in 2 or 3 sentences. 2 marks. Question number 1. Why did Lencho say the raindrops were like new coins? Lencho compared the raindrops with new coins because they were promising him a good harvest resulting in more prosperity. 2. How did the rain change? What happened to Lencho's fields? The rain changed into hailstorms as a strong wind began to blow, and huge hailstorms began to fall along with the rain. All the crop in Lencho's field got destroyed because of the weather conditions. Next question. What were Lencho's feelings when the hail stopped? Answer. Lencho was filled with grief after the hail stopped, as everything was ruined and there was nothing that he could feed his family with. He could see a bleak future for him and his family. Next question. Who or what did Lencho have faith in? What did he do? Lencho had firm faith in God. He believed that God sees everything, even what is deep in one's conscience, and help everyone in one's problems. He wrote a letter to God demanding him 100 pesos to sow his field again. Next question. What did the postmaster do after reading a letter? The postmaster laughed when he read Lencho's letter, but soon he became serious and was moved by the writer's faith in God. He did not want to shake Lencho's faith, so he decided to collect money and send it to Lencho on behalf of God. Next question. Who was Lencho? What were his main problems? Answer. Lencho was a hard-working farmer who lived on top of a low hill with his family. Lencho's main problems were rainfall and locusts. If rain turned into hail or did not fall when required, his crops would fail. Further, if a plague of locusts attacked his crops, he would not be able to earn enough to feed his family. So these are the problems. 7. Why did Lencho write a letter to God? Lencho wrote a letter to God as God was only hope in his despair. His crops had been destroyed due to hailstorm. Lencho needed money to sow a new crop and support his family till the next crop. Next question. Why and how did the postmaster help Lencho? The postmaster helped Lencho because he did not want to break Lencho's faith in God. The postmaster helped Lencho by collecting money from the post office employees, or it means his colleagues and his friends. He himself gave part of his salary. He sent the collected money to Lencho by a letter. It appeared that the God had sent the money to Lencho. Next question. Why did Lencho not want the money to be sent by mail or by post? Answer. Lencho did not want the money to be sent by mail because he suspected the post office employees of stealing some of the money that God had sent him by the letter. Now we'll discuss 3 marks questions. Answer following questions in 5 to 6 sentences. 1. Why does the postmaster send money to Lencho? Why does he sign the letter God? The postmaster sends money to Lencho in order to keep Lencho's faith in God alive and firm, as he was completely moved by it. When postmaster reads the letter of Lencho to God, he becomes serious and does not want to shake his faith and decides to answer the letter. He gathers money with the help of his post office employers and friends on behalf of God and signs the letter God so that Lencho's faith does not get shaken. Next question. Did Lencho try to find out who had sent the money to him? Why? Why not? Answer. Lencho did not want to find out who had sent money to him because he never suspected the presence of God and had complete faith in God. He could not believe that it could be anybody else other than him who would send him the money. His faith in God was so strong that he believed that he had sent money to him for his help in his difficulty or problem. Question number 3. Who does Lencho think has taken the rest of money? What is the irony in the situation? Lencho thinks that the post office employees have taken the rest of the money as he had demanded 100 pesos from God, and in the letter there was only 70 pesos and God cannot make such a mistake. So he assumes that they have stolen the money. The irony in this situation is that Lencho suspects those people who helped him in his problem and try to keep his faith alive in God. Why did Lencho write letter to God? The hailstorm destroyed the crops of his field, so he needed 100 pesos to sow the field again. The second time he wrote, since he got only 70 pesos, he suspected that the postmaster employees had taken the remaining amount. He had written the letter again to remind the God not to send the money through mail. Yes, now we discuss explain with reference to context. So this type of questions are asked in our examinations for 3 marks. So first one, now we really going to get some water. Reference, the above statement is extracted from the lesson A Letter to God written by G.L. Fewens. Context, the above statement is uttered or said or made spoken by Lencho, the farmer, to the woman who was preparing supper. Lencho, the farmer, had a piece of land. It was full of ripe corn dotted with flowers that promised a good harvest. He was seeing the sky towards the northeast because his cornfield needed downpour or at least shower. He suspected that it might rain today, so he made the statement to the woman. Or C2, they aren't raindrops falling from the sky, they are new kinds. Reference: the above statement is extracted from the lesson A Letter to God, written by G.L. Fluent. Context: Lencho made this statement to the readers or himself. As Lencho had predicted, big drops of rain began to fall. In the northeast, huge mountains of clouds could be seen approaching. The air was fresh and sweet. Lencho went out to have the pleasure of feeling the rain on his body. When he returned, he exclaimed that they were not raindrops falling from the sky, but they were the new kinds. So next, RC. It is really getting bad now, or I hope it passes quickly. Any one statement. So reference: the above statement is extracted from the lesson A Letter to God, written by G.L. Fluent. Context: Lencho uttered the given statement to the readers. When it began to rain, Lencho had become very happy because his field needed water. He thought that raining would stop soon, but it couldn't. For an hour, the hail rained on the house, the garden, the hills, the cornfield, and the whole valley. Lencho's field was completely destroyed, so he made the statement that it was getting bad. A plague of locusts would have left more than this. Reference: the above statement is extracted from the lesson A Letter to God, written by G.L. Fluent. Context: Lencho spoke the given statement to his sons. When it rained for an hour, the corn was totally destroyed. Lencho's soul was filled with sadness. When the storm had passed, he stood in the middle of the field and told his sons that if a plague of locusts would have come, it had left more than the storm. It means the storm had left nothing. Five. If you don't help me, my family and I will go hunger this year. Reference: the above statement is extracted from the lesson A Letter to God, written by G.L. Fluent. Context: Lencho wrote this statement to God in his letter to him. When Lencho's field was totally destroyed by the storm, he had nothing to feed his family. So he decided to write a letter to God seeking his favor to sow his field again. He thought that God only could help him. He wrote a letter to God stating if he didn't help him, his family and he would go hungry that year. He demanded 100 pesos in his letter from God. RC number 6. There are no one who can help us. We will go hungry this year. Reference: this statement is extracted from the lesson A Letter to God, written by G.L. Fluent. Context: Lencho says the given statement to the members. The family, after the storm had completely destroyed his cornfield. Rain and hailstorm started. Lencho's family was happy, but for an hour the hail rained on the house, the garden, the hill, the cornfield. Not a leaf remained on the tree. The car was totally destroyed. RC number 7. Remember, no one dies of hunger. Reference. This statement is taken from the lesson A Letter to God, written by G.L. Fluent. Context. Lencho says this when rain and hailstorm started. Lencho's family was happy, but for an hour the hail rained on the house, the garden, the hillsides, the cornfield. Not a leaf remained on the trees. The crop was totally destroyed. It was a total loss for Lencho. He thought only of his one hope, that the help of God. So now lastly we discuss the 4 marks questions from this lesson. Answer the following questions in 7 to 8 sentences. First question, there are two kinds of conflicts in the story: between humans and the nature and between human themselves. How are these conflicts illustrated in this lesson? Conflict between human and nature. The conflict between human and nature is illustrated by the destruction of Lencho's crop by the hailstorm, as Lencho was expecting a good rain to have good harvest. Yes, that was the only hope he had for his earning. He worked so hard to feed his family, but nature turned violent and destroyed everything. Next, conflict between human and humans. The story also illustrated another conflict between humans and themselves. As the postmaster, along with his friends and staff, sent Lencho money that Lencho demanded from God, although they didn't know Lencho. Lencho blamed them for taking away some amount of money. He called them a bunch of crooks. This shows that man does not have faith in other man, therefore giving rise to this conflict. So last question, why does the postmaster send money to Lencho? Why does he sign the letter as God? Answer. See, Lencho was a farmer and had faith in God. His field of ripe corn promised him a good harvest. The earth needed downpour or shower. Unfortunately, the heavy rain hailstorm destroyed his crops. He felt very sad. As he had faith in God, he wrote a letter to God hoping to help. In that letter, he asked God to send 100 pesos. When the postman saw the address, God, he laughed and showed the letter to the postmaster. The postmaster also laughed, but suddenly he decided to help in order to keep his faith in God. The postmaster could not send full money but signed it as God. He did not want to reveal his identity. The post office employees were kind-hearted. So this is the end of this lesson. I have discussed the important questions of 1 marks, 2 marks, 3 marks and also 4 marks, and very important questions RCs from these lessons. So most likely RCs I have discussed in this video. Dear students, if you are watching my channel at the first time, please subscribe to my channel, because I am doing all the lessons of first flight and also supplementary reading lessons and poetry also. Like this video and also share to your friends. So thank you for watching the video. I will meet you with another lessons question answers.